All right, good evening, everybody. Another answer for Quora. Is it okay to feed your pet dog non-kosher food if you are a follower of Judaism? The answer is a little bit complicated, but basically sometimes yes and sometimes no, depending on the type of non-kosher item we're talking about. So there are two types of non-kosher foods. There are those that are only prohibited to eat, but you are permitted to do business with them, to derive other non-eating benefits from them. And then there is that which is considered prohibited to derive benefit from. So the two major examples of prohibitions that are not only prohibited to eat, but also prohibited to have benefit from are as follows. One, for the entire year, are cooked mixtures of kosher mammal meat and milk. Now, when it comes to eating, there's prohibitions against poultry and milk, and there's prohibitions against cold mixtures of domestic mammal, of all mammal meat and milk. I should really make that a caveat that it's domestic mammal meat, domestic kosher mammal meat cooked with milk is what is considered a prohibition to derive benefit. So therefore, a cheeseburger with kosher beef, for sure, although some say it's enough that it's just beef and not necessarily kosher, one is not allowed to do business with it. You can't cook it, and you cannot derive benefit from it. So you can't sell it, you can't feed it to your pet. So some dog foods have a mix of meat and milk, and if we understand it, that it's not only meats that are made kosher, but even meats that are of a kosher species that's prohibited to cook and derive benefit from with milk. So therefore, any types of cooked mixtures of meat and milk would be prohibited to feed a pet dog. If it's a kosher species of meat and a kosher species of milk. So if it's beef or lamb or something like that. If it's poultry, even though we are not allowed to eat mixtures of meat and poultry, even cold, whether cold or hot, by rabbinical decree, there's only a prohibition against eating, and so therefore that you could feed to your dog. And similarly, you're allowed to feed pork to a dog. Because that is not something that's prohibited to do business with or have benefit from. It's only prohibited for Jews to eat. There are some rabbinical decrees against raising pigs, but it's not a biblical law, and so therefore pig meat may be fed to a dog. Also, non-kosher meat from a kosher animal. The Bible openly says you should cast it to the dog, and so therefore if a kosher animal was improperly slaughtered, that the Bible specifically says you should cast it to the dogs. Another example of Isser Hanoah, of something that's prohibited to have benefit from, is chametz on Pesach. It's leavened bread on Passover. And so too, if there is some sort of a question of a mixture of leaven in the dog food, as again, some of the dog foods might have wheat or barley or something in them, you're not allowed to feed that to your dog on Passover. And also you can't feed just regular bread to the dog on Passover. So those are essentially the two major examples. So many things you are allowed to feed the dog that are not kosher, but certain non-kosher things may not be fed to the dog. That's basic to your pet dog. That's basically the law in a nutshell. If it's was, and there are other examples of Isurei Hana, but those are the two most common ones. And that's basically what it comes down to. If it's what's called Isurei Hana, something is prohibited to have benefit from, then you are not allowed to feed it to the dog. And if it's only Isur Achila, it's only something that's prohibited to consume, that you may feed to the dog. So, two types of non-kosher, and certain ones were strict and certain ones were not. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you later. How do I turn this thing off? Hello? There we go, this one.